Hey guys, I had a question about the practice problems for section 7.2, which deals with estimating population means. And so this is one of the practice problems for that section. I'll do number 3 on this first video, and then I'll do number 4 on the second video. Problem number 3 says, in a test of weight loss programs, 40 adults used the Atkins weight loss program. After 12 months, their mean weight loss was found to be 2.1 pounds, with a standard deviation of 4.8 pounds. Construct a 90% confidence interval estimate of the mean weight loss for all subjects. Now, this is very similar to what we did in section 7.1 with population proportions, except for in this case, we're not talking about proportions, we're talking about means. And the other thing that's kind of different is we don't use the z-scores. We don't use the standard normal distribution, the z-distribution. We use the student t-distribution. It's very similar to the z-distribution. It's just called a t-distribution. The t-distribution works very well when you do not know the population standard deviation, or if you have small samples. It's very useful. Now, I'll show you where we can get the t-values. It's very similar on Statcrunch. Since it's a 90% confidence interval this time, our alpha would be 10%. Remember, you take 1 minus the confidence level. 1 minus 90% would give you 10%. So alpha would be 0.10. And if we're looking for the critical value, the critical t-value, you're going to take t sub alpha over 2. That's going to end up being the t-score with 10% of the area divided by 2. So the t-score with the cutoff of 5% of the area. And let me take you to Statcrunch and show you how to get this 1.685 for a critical t-value. Now, the t-distribution depends on the degrees of freedom, which is directly related to the n value. So whenever you're working one of these problems, the n value, the number of samples we have, is 40 adults. So the degrees of freedom, I have it abbreviated DF, is n minus 1. So the degrees of freedom in this problem is 39. So let me take you to Statcrunch to show you how to get this critical t-value. All right, so you'll go to Stat, just like you would normally do. We would go to, we're not going to go to z-stats, we're not going to go to calculators, we're going to go to t-stats. That's a lie. We're going to go to calculators, sorry. We are going to go to calculators. I'll show you the t-stats here in a minute. Go to calculators, go to the, you don't go to normal, go to the t, the one that's the t-distribution. And it's going to look very similar to what you're used to with the z-distribution or the standard normal distribution. Okay, look where it asks you for the degrees of freedom. So the degrees of freedom, again, was the 40 in, take away 1, which was 39. So you manually type in the degrees of freedom, and the t-score is going to be greater than, and our alpha over 2 in this problem was 5%. So we're going to type in the 0.05. And the critical t-value is here. That's where the 1.685 came from, is right there. That's the critical t-value right here. So 1.685. All right. So that's where this came from. Okay. Now notice what else we have labeled over here. After 12 months, the 40 adults, their mean or average weight loss was 2.1. That's your X bar, or your sample mean. So the 2.1 is your sample mean, and the sample standard deviation was 4.8. Okay, so what we need to do to create this confidence interval is we need the margin of error. All right, now you guys can look on your little formula sheet, your 7-2 formulas. You've got your margin of error. It looks very similar to what we were working with up here. Very similar, similar situation, except for you don't have a z sub alpha over 2, you have a t sub alpha over 2. You've got S, which is your sample standard deviation divided by the square root of n. Now you're going to use the degrees of freedom again to be n minus 1. And then you create your confidence interval the same way we did for section 7.1. And you can write your confidence interval in one of three ways. You can write it as the inequality, you can use the plus or minus, or you can use just the interval notation here. So let me go back and let's look at what we're doing here. So we've got the margin of error to be our t critical value, which was 1.685, times our standard deviation for the sample, which was 4.8, divided by the square root of our sample size, which was 40. And when you type this in your calculator, you should get a margin of error of 1.279. Okay, so in order to get your confidence interval, again, you can write it however you would like. You're going to take the x bar, which is 2.1, okay, and you're going to add the margin of error, and you're going to subtract the margin of error. So you can write it as x bar plus or minus your e. You can write it like that. You can actually do the math. You can do 2.1 take away 1.279 and you'll get 0.821. And then comma, the upper bound would be 2.1 plus the 1.279, which gives you 3.379, and you can write it in the interval notation. Or you can write it as this complex inequality. You can put the population mean falls somewhere between the 0.821 and the 3.379. Now, they've asked you a question. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Does the Atkins program appear to be effective? Well, yeah, there was weight loss. Anywhere between 0.8 and 3.3 pounds, was lost. Does it appear to be practical? I wouldn't think so. I mean, you could probably lose 3 pounds on your own without having to buy this weight loss program. So doesn't seem to be practical. Now, if you lost, a lot of weight, it might be worth it to you, might be more practical, but in this situation, probably not so much. I hope this helps. Thanks. I almost forgot. I don't want to leave you hanging. I wanted to show you how to do this on Statcrunch before I go. So you're going to go to Statcrunch here, and this is where you're going to go to T-stats. You've got one sample, and you don't have all the data, you just have a summary of the data. So you're going to go with summary. The sample mean in our problem was 2.1 pounds. The sample standard deviation in our problem was 4.8. The sample size in this problem was 40. And we do not want to perform a hypothesis test, although this is what we're going to be doing in the next chapter. You want a confidence interval for the population mean. Now, you do need to manually type in the confidence level. So in this particular problem, the confidence level was 90%. So you're going to type in 0.90 and then click compute. And this is going to give you your confidence interval. There's your lower bound, 0.821, and there's your upper bound. So Statcrunch will compute these confidence intervals for you.